Hi, and welcome to Life Addictions, the Recovery Show. My name is John Laus, and I am a certified recovery specialist in the state of Florida. And today, our show, we're going to talk about addiction and recovery, whether it's drugs or alcohol, food or nicotine, even sex and love, procrastination, or criminal addiction. Every week we have a very special guest, and today we have another very special guest, Sue Merklin with Addiction Reach Home. Sue, welcome. How are you?
Thank you, John. Thank you for inviting me today.
Please introduce yourself to our audience and tell us a little bit about what it is you do.
Well, my name is Sue Merklin. My company is Addiction Reach Home, and we offer convenient, discreet, comprehensive treatment for addiction recovery in your home.
Wow, now that's different. I've never heard about this model of recovery. So it's always been in an inpatient treatment center, or it's outpatient where you go for 3 or 4 hours, but this is totally different. It's in your home.
Correct.
Tell us a little bit more about how that works.
Well, so many people will not go into a treatment center, whether it be they don't have the time to leave their families or their businesses for 30 to 60 days, or because they want to stay under the radar and they're high profile, or they don't want people to know about it. So this is the perfect program for people that are committed to recovery and that are somewhat functional.
Amazing. Sue, it's an amazing model. Tell us a little bit about why you got into this.
Well, for the last 2 years, I've had a marketing and management company, and I've been helping recovery facilities actually do their marketing and manage their business.
Okay.
And I found that a lot of the facilities have very good business savvy, but sometimes they're limited on their programs. And I found other people that were amazing nurturers, but didn't know how to run a business.
Right.
So I felt that if I can run that business end of it for the addiction professionals that I'm doing their marketing for now, when they're now ready to get into addiction recovery in the home, that I can set them free to do what they like best, which is take care of patients.
Wow, that's amazing. So you were in the field working as a marketing person along with these addiction rehab centers and all these people that are in the field, and you noticed something that was missing that you thought you can improve upon.
I noticed it, and some of the treatment providers that I've done marketing for noticed it as well.
I tell you, that's very interesting. For the viewers and everybody that's watching, if you have somebody, maybe a family member, a friend, a coworker, that needs some kind of addiction or recovery, or some kind of recovery, they have an addiction, and they're looking for a new way, maybe they don't want to go to inpatient treatment, or they want to be kept really low-key and maybe stay in their home, Sue Merklin from Addiction Reach Now is the person to call. Sue, tell us a little bit more about why in the home?
Well, it's very, very convenient for people. Let's say that you were a mother and you had small children and you couldn't leave for weeks or months at a time, or you were an executive or a doctor or a college student or a sports figure. It makes perfect sense to learn how to manage your addiction with the people around you in an environment that you're used to.
So you really come in, you got to clean house, because if they're drinkers, you got to clean all the alcohol out.
Correct.
If they're using drugs, you got to come in and just clean. So do you do that? Do you do a swipe, or?
Well, what we do, John, is first we come into the home for a complimentary visit.
Yeah.
And we see if we're actually a fit for this particular person. Some people are not going to be a fit for us and really need to be inpatient.
So if you need to do a swipe, it might not be one of those whole house. It might not be
Our patient is a little bit more functional and usually a little bit more committed.
Right. Gotcha. Okay. So it's got to be a right fit.
Correct.
If it's not a right fit, what do you do?
Well, just as when we went to the breakers, I met some amazing facilities and some amazing interventionists and all. What I've done is I've partnered with them in order to be a resource. When I come in front of the person first, I'm thinking that a lot of these people are going to come to me first because we advertise on the internet, and a lot of people think that with their addiction they can handle it in their home. So if I speak with them first, we can determine, the patient and myself, or one of my team, if this person is a good fit. If not, what we'd like to do is recommend somebody else to speak with them and assist them.
You know, I've been in this business for a number of years, and you're right. There's some people that just say, I don't want to go to treatment.
Correct.
You know, if I could do it at home, I would.
Sure.
So that's where you come in, And if it's a correct fit, how long is the process?
Generally, we have a 45-day program, but the program is based on what the doctors and the mental health professionals think is best. And that patient belongs to that doctor or that treatment provider from minute one. So after that 45-day period, that addicted person has the ability to use that support system forever. So many people relapse because they come home from a facility and they don't have that support group. Now they'll have that support group for as long as they want them.
So, Sue, you're like the orchestrator.
Correct.
Right? You bring together the doctors, the psychiatrists, the psychologists, all those people, the masseuses or whatever it is.
All of the people
you
that I
do,
bring to,
to a client. So
Correct.
everything's under your umbrella.
Well, the management of it and the marketing and the administration part is under my umbrella. However, the medical is not. And there is a care manager assigned to each patient that is the voice of the patient that coordinates all of that medically. And what we do is we just basically do the paperwork and do the introductions.
Sue, you shared with me before we got on the air something about a client of yours or a potential client that just about lost their life. Tell us a little bit about that.
About 3 weeks ago, John, we did an exhibit at the fairgrounds for recovery. We met a lovely gentleman that was about 70 years old, very concerned with his wife, who was a little bit younger. She had been in several rehab facilities for alcohol, and we thought that maybe we could help him. He went on vacation. We talked back and forth a little bit, and I had just happened to call him on Monday just to see how his wife was. And he was on the turnpike going 90 miles an hour to Orlando because she was in medical emergency. Because of the people I met at the Breakers, an amazing interventionist. The interventionist came and went to see her on Tuesday, put her in a new detox facility, is going to handle everything, and I think we saved her life.
Oh my God, that's an amazing story. You know, you have to hear more stories like that. And we're going to talk about the Breakers. We just did a week at the Breakers, and it was fame, power, and recovery. And there was some amazing speakers, amazing connections were made there.
Absolutely.
I met you there.
We did.
And today you're here on the show. And we're going to come back after we take a break, and we're going to talk a little bit more about those speakers and all these people out here that are really, we're here to help people that are suffering.
We absolutely are.
And so we're working more and more as a team. And we're going to watch a 1-minute commercial now on Life Addictions and Recovery Program product called the Recovery Pod. So please stay tuned for that, and we'll be right back. Life Addictions, the Recovery Program, has been under development for over 3 years. It's personal, portable, and more importantly, it works. My motivation to start this business was to help people with addictions, to literally help save lives.
We're best known for our delivery system. It's called the Recovery Pod, embedded with life-saving audio. Just open it up, turn it on, and hit play.
Along with your Recovery Pod, you get a 4-page laminated follow-along guide. What sets us apart from our competition is our message. It's uplifting, inspiring, and to the point.
My name is John Laus, the creator and developer of Life Addictions, the Recovery Program. Our model of recovery starts with clarity. Clarity from the minute you wake up and open your eyes. Knowledge and know-how. Know-how are the things that motivate a person to change and take action, like your health, your family, a life that works, and a life with a purpose. Life Addictions, the Recovery Program. Visit us at our website at lifeaddictions.com. Hi, and welcome back to Life Addictions, the Recovery Show. And what you just saw was a commercial about our product, the Recovery Pod, and we'll talk a little bit more about that later. But our special guest here is Sue Merklin with Addiction Reach Home, a unique model that has never been tried before, at least not that I heard of. Recovery in the home.
Correct.
It's a great, great model. So, Sue, I wanted to ask you a little something personal about, has addiction ever touched your life personally?
It absolutely has.
Okay.
Family members have been alcoholics. Some of my best friends are presently in recovery. As a child, it touched me. And luckily, a lot of our treatment providers are in recovery at this point, and they understand it as well.
I'm glad you said that, because the empathy that one has and knowing where other people have been is so very important in this field. And not saying that you have to go through an addiction to be working in the field, but it does help to get a sense of all that. So, you were saying, as a child, some of your family members.
My family members were very dysfunctional with alcohol.
Yeah.
And it changed the person I am, and it made me grow up differently. I personally am not in recovery, although I am a workaholic.
Yeah, right. No, but you're right. Back in the day, and we come basically from the same generation where alcohol was so prevalent with our parents, and and it was just, I remember personally, my stepdad crashed his car on our block, ran into 3 cars. My poor mother was in the car. She didn't have, you didn't wear your seatbelts back then. And thank God everything was okay. Nobody was hurt really bad. But it was really, really, they didn't arrest him for DUI or anything. Back then it was really something. So, anyway, I'm glad to hear that there's, because we talked about your business savvy and stuff, but you really do come up from a place of, what the person is going through.
I do, and I'm going to use my skill sets to make a difference, to help the treatment providers that do not know how to do the things that I do, just have the time to care for patients.
Well, Sue, I know you have a caring heart, and it really comes through.
Thank you.
And I can't wait to work with you some more. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back. Life Addictions, the recovery program, has been under development for over 3 years. It's personal, portable, and more importantly, it works. My motivation to start this business was to help people with addictions, to literally help save lives.
We're best known for our delivery system. It's called the Recovery Pod, embedded with life-saving audio. Just open it up, turn it on, and hit play.
Along with your Recovery Pod, you get a 4-page laminated follow-along guide. What sets us apart from our competition is our message. It's uplifting, inspiring, and to the point.
My name is John Laus, the creator and developer of Life Addictions, the recovery program. Our model of recovery starts with clarity. Clarity from the minute you wake up and open your eyes. Knowledge and know-how. Know-how are the things that motivate a person to change and take action, like your health, your family, a life that works, and a life with a purpose. Life Addictions, the recovery program. Visit us at our website at lifeaddictions.com. Hi, and welcome back to Life Addictions, the Recovery Show. What you just saw was a 1-minute commercial on our product, the Recovery Pod. A really amazing product. It's cutting edge. A lot of rehab centers use it around the country for either inpatient or outpatient. It is, as you saw, an audio recovery program, kind of like Recovery on the Go. They have a lot of advertisements out there that buy a book, read this book, learn how to recover. And honestly, if you're in addiction, you really can't comprehend much reading. And this program has you just simply listen and get better. What do you think about a product like this, Susan?
Well, we chatted about that at the Breakers, and I thought it would be a wonderful idea for our in-home program, because it will just it'll just give clarity to people when they're working out or meditating. When we're not there.
Yeah. It really is an amazing product. We have actually 3 meditations on the audio program. We have one specifically for drugs, one specifically for alcohol, and we're coming up with one that's specifically for prescription drug addiction. Now, prescription drug addiction is a growing trend in addiction. 8 out of 10 people in rehab today are now in there for prescription drugs.
I know it's a baby boomer thing. It's our generation that really is involved, as well as younger people and sports people as well.
It is amazing. You know, if you think about it, I was talking to somebody last week. I mean, it really goes back a long way. It's come about recently, huge. But, you know, Elvis Presley died of prescription drug addiction. Marilyn Monroe died. You know, Michael Jackson was seeing it in the news. I remember 12 years ago, I gave a eulogy to a friend of mine who overdosed, crushing pills, doctor shopping.
Oh my goodness.
And that was 12 years ago. So it's always been around for a long, long time. I think Betty Ford, you know, along with alcohol, Betty Ford had a prescription drug addiction. So it's been around for a long time, but lately, I mean, you know, the ease of use with the children being prescribed with the new ADHD medication. They're so young and they're taking pills, so they're getting to know what a mind-altering drug feels like. And many times they abuse it. So it's just, it's really gone out of hand.
I think that would be a wonderful thing for you to do.
Yeah. I'm going to come out with that probably in the next month, and when I do, I'll introduce it to everybody. But we talked a little bit about this wonderful conference we were at the Breakers in Palm Beach just last week. Fame, Power, and Recovery. And Sue, what a great conference, wasn't it?
It was amazing. The people that I met, I would have never met anywhere else, and the speakers were so informational. Yeah,
it really was a world-class conference. The speakers were amazing. Just a couple notes about this one speaker that a colleague of mine heard, kind of like, you know, in the big picture, said that much of the problems that we have in this country today, our economy and all those other things, are attributed directly to addiction in one form or another. I mean, that's a pretty big, bold statement. But if you think about it, I think a lot of that is true.
Agreed, and it's mainstream now, too. A lot of times in the past, things have been put under the rug. Now you're hearing about it so much from the sports people and the actors that you see that everyday people have the same exact disease. Right.
There was another speaker there that I heard. He does that legal Zoom. Robert Shapiro.
He was amazing.
Were you there for this?
I absolutely was.
Robert Shapiro, who lost a son in drug addiction, was there. And I was there when he spoke. I actually sat right in front of him. And he talked about how, you know, we have the war in Afghanistan. We have the war in Iraq. And there's no war, really, on drug addiction or alcohol addiction or any kind of addiction.
Correct.
You know, you see it on the news all the time about Afghanistan, Iraq, and there's so many more people that die of addiction than they do of these wars.
It's a silent killer.
It is a silent killer. And he told his story, and it was really touching. And now he's involved with a lot of prevention.
Yes.
And just a great, great speaker. But it was a great conference. So you made a lot of contacts?
Oh, I made wonderful contacts. I found that I'm going to work very, very well with the addiction recovery facilities because we can do their aftercare after they have their program. We can also give them a lot of referrals. We're looking to go out and visit a bunch of them in the next couple of weeks because we want to make sure that we can refer them to patients that come to us first.
Oh, good. You know, what I found out from this conference was, you're on the show, I met you there. It's really a lot of teamwork. Everybody was great. We're all working together for the same thing. You know, we have a lot of viewers out there that are watching, and some of them might have people, friends, co-workers, even family members, and even themselves that are maybe addicted to some form of an addiction. Please don't hesitate. We're going to put some phone numbers up a little later to call, to ask for some direction. We both have websites, and we'll put them up as well. But there is a lot of help out there these days for people suffering, isn't there?
There is, and there are a lot of different types of help. We're an alternative because we are in the home, so we can do things that some of the other facilities that don't do. And on the other hand, they can help people that we can't help.
Now, on the first half of the show, I kind of got the name wrong. It's Addiction Reach Home. Addiction Reach Home. And the website, what would that be? AddictionReachHome.com?
Correct.
Oh, good.
Actually, it's AddictionReach.com.
AddictionReach.com?
AddictionReach.com.
Okay, good. We'll put that up as well. And so, Sue, tell me a little bit more about, you've got different communities that you're targeting this wonderful new model of recovery. What are some of those communities out there that, if they're listening, you know, we've got a wide variety of viewers.
Wonderful.
So let us know who you could reach out to and maybe a community leader is watching who represents thousands of people. So let them know. Who are you reaching out to?
Well, one of the first groups we're reaching out to are the legal community. We can actually do a full treatment from the time somebody would get a violation for DUI or drugs to the time when they do mitigation. And we can make sure that they have the after support as well. Some of the other people that we think will be able to work with us are the religious community. Sometimes the pastor or the rabbi is the first person that knows that somebody needs help.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are ashamed or will not go to a facility. We'll also be working with the colleges, the sports organizations, health fairs, the internet, and of course the other facilities.
You really are targeting the DUI community, the legal community is huge. And as you say, they don't have to go to a 30-day rehab. They can continue working.
And we'll drive them to work if they've lost their driving license. And you'll drive them to work,
is that right? Wow.
Absolutely.
And also the Christian-based community, the religious community is another huge, and you're so right. The pastor and are the first ones to really know when a family member is going through something. So tell us some more about who do you bring in? So you're the point person, right? You're the orchestrator. Who's the first one they're going to meet with? Yourself.
They're going to meet with myself or one of my staff, and we're just going to decide whether it makes sense for them to go further.
Yeah.
If the patient decides that they would like to go further, a medical doctor has to come in to evaluate them, and a mental health professional comes in.
So you set that up. You'll call your doctor, and you'll say, I've got someone who fits our program.
Correct. That would like to know more.
Okay. So he comes in that same day, the next day? How's that work?
Yes, within a very, very short period of time.
Okay.
And he or she would evaluate the situation. And then at that point, the program would be built. All programs are customized. Although the patient cannot make decisions about the medical or the mental health professional, if they want a massage 4 days a week, if they would like acupuncture twice, if they would like a yoga person to come in, we'll bring in the ancillary services, and we'll bring them in at the convenience of the patient.
Now, do you stay with them overnight, or?
In some cases, we have caregivers that will stay overnight. In a lot of cases, our patient does not necessarily need somebody that would stay in overnight. It's going to be just like everything else, case-by-case basis.
I see. And what are some of the everybody's got different, what are some of the modalities you're going to use with some of the doctors or psychiatrists or drug and alcohol counselors? Is it the traditional 12-step program, or is it more, because everything's changing very rapidly these days?
Well, we actually have a life coach that does one-on-one teach 12 steps, but we have neurotherapeutics, we have hypnosis, we have acupuncturists, we have a lot of different cutting-edge technology that is a little bit different than some of the facilities.
Right. You're right. There are so many different new cutting-edge approaches to get to a person to move from point A to point B. We use it in our program. It really is the new brain science of change. Whether it's cognitive behavioral therapy, neuro-linguistic programming, mind imaging technology, these are some of the things that we use. And it really, years ago, you used to be with a therapist and you used to relive everything. Now you don't even have to do that. They just bypass all that and they get the same results in a very short amount of time. It really is, some of the new methods are really an accelerated learning process back to health.
It is, John, and what's so important, though, is to get the family involved from day one. So we have family counselors as well that will be coming into the home, as well as our addiction team for the person who needs the help.
I'm glad you said that, because family members suffer.
They do.
Just as much.
And they enable as well.
If not more. Yeah, we've had a couple people on lately, and we have to get more of the Al-Anon-based family members on the show to let our viewers know how bad it is, and it's not easy for the family members.
No, it's not.
So tell us a little bit more. We're going to wrap up here in about 3 or 4 minutes. Give us a phone number and a website that we can put on our screen, so if anybody's watching, they can call in or contact you.
Our company name is Addiction Reach Home. Our phone number is 561-427-1900. There's somebody that will answer that phone 24 hours a day. Our website is www.addictionreach.com, and you can email me at sue@addictionreach.com.
Excellent. And our viewers are going to be sure to look you up on the website. And I understand the website's going to be up and running in the next week or so.
It is. All of my treatment providers are giving me their information, and it's taken me a little time to gather it together.
Excellent, excellent. And you're located, it doesn't matter where they are, you can go to them no matter where they're at.
Right now we're working from about Vero Beach to Fort Lauderdale, but we're going to be moving it into all of the other communities, and we're going to be doing a version in Spanish.
Oh, nice.
With all Spanish treatment providers, and then we'll move from there as well.
Well, Sue, I hope I can work with you. I'm going to sure get the word out on what it is you do, and hopefully we can work together and collaborate.
It would be my pleasure. Thank you, John.
My name is John Laus. This is Life Addictions Recovery Show with my special guest, Sue Merklin from Addiction Reach Home. Sue, thank you for being my guest.
My pleasure.
Bye now.